I've got a machine that cleans my carpets far better than my Dysons do. And you know I love Dyson vacuum cleaners. I didn't become aware of these machines until another YouTuber I know called BeanMeister22 showed a Hoover Power Dash carpet shampooer, and I thought to myself, oh okay, I'll just happily go online and I'll buy one of these and I'll be a happy camper. But of course life isn't as simple as that, and prices around the world can be vastly different. On BeanMeister's video, he had a link on Amazon to the Hoover Power Dash Pet Compact Vacuum Shampooer, and it was $95 US, but the price actually dumped down to $87 US. Of course, I'm not American, I'm Australian. Every time we purchase something in Australia, we get kicked in the groin. The Amazon US listing said $133.65 as a shipping fee. Shipping something electrical from the USA to Australia makes no sense. The USA is on 110 volts, Australia runs on 240 volts. I'm absolutely certain all this made in China stuff would be shipped from China. But of course, as it gets diverted from China to Australia, straight away the in-between people can say, we can gouge the biggest price because they're Australian. They're so used to paying absolute top dollar. And then I thought, I can scoot this shipping fee. I can go to Amazon Australia and find the Hoover Power Dash Pet. Oh my God, it's $550.49 Australian. I'm not paying that for one of these little shampooers. Especially when I know BeanMeister in the USA can pick one up for frickin' $87. How in the hell can something be $87 in one marketplace, yet in another marketplace, $550.49? It makes absolutely no sense. It smells of a giant ripoff. I gave up thinking I was going to get one of these machines. I do remember vividly the simple demonstration BeanMeister showed in this channel of the Hoover Power Dash Pet pulling up a simple pet mess that was on a carpet. At the time, I had little cats, kittens in the house, and of course when you have kittens in the house, there are always little accidents. I really needed something to deal with the little accidents that were going on within the house. And then purely by accident, I was in a hardware store in Australia called Bunnings, and I saw a Vax Compact Power Carpet Washer. It was for $173.30, and I flicked up the price thing to see the original price of $239, and I thought to myself, that looks very similar to the Hoover Power Dash Pet Compact. In fact, it's a clone machine. Anyway, I thought at $173.30, that's a very good price, because I kept thinking to myself, let's say if it's $100 in the USA, well, $173 is the right price in Australia. Anyway, I brought this machine home and I thought I'll do one of those fancy unboxing videos and I can show you the boxing and all the other blah blah, and what we'll do right up the end of the video is show you this thing working. I thought dump all that, we don't want to see unboxing, we don't want to see assembly, we just want to see this thing doing its job. In our house we've got 3 medium-sized carpets in 3 different rooms, and I thought to myself they're pretty clean. The Dyson V8 does a pretty good job at keeping these carpets clean. But I didn't understand how dirty these carpets were until I put this Vax Compact Power Carpet Washer across the carpets. Now, the word compact is there because it's a small device. This isn't a big shampooer. We've only got the 3 carpets, like I said earlier, and I had to reset the machine twice, as in put new water and detergent in, because it gets used as you're shampooing, and then that same fluid gets sucked up by the machine. But what gets sucked up is incredibly filthy. And for me, that was the big shock, because I thought our carpets were clean. No, our carpets are actually totally and utterly disgusting. I'll go to some live video of it working on our carpets. It's not a quiet machine. In fact, the sound reminded me very much of the old Hoover we had way back in the 70s. So just listen and watch it working. And it's when you come to clean out the reservoir of the fluid that's gone down from the back of the machine and through the brush and been sucked up again, you get the revelation of, oh my god, look how dirty the carpets were. To take out the fluid and put new fluid back in and clean little filters is very simple. In fact, it's a very simple machine to clean. And the way we used to clean our carpets before we had this machine was I took the carpet outside, hung it up, and I put a high pressure washer over it. Obviously that was doing sweet FA when it comes to cleaning carpets. I shot a lot of footage of the machine working on the carpets, but to me the money shot is the gunk that it pulls up out of your carpets when you pour it out of the machine into a jug and you go, that is just disgusting, filthy crap. I don't want it in my carpets, I'm glad it's down the sink. Carpet shampooers are a strange device. It's the sort of machine you don't use weekly, unless you've got very messy pets. They're the sort of thing you normally hire from, let's say, a supermarket. You take it home and you do your house, or maybe you employ someone to come in with the professional gear to come and do your house over. When I look at the pricing of these machines in the marketplace, that is in vacuum cleaner shops, I would say use extreme buyer beware. The prices are all over the place. You might see an El Cheapo machine for say $99, next thing it's there for sale for $49. You see machines for $700, you say to yourself, what does that machine do that the $200 machine doesn't do? There's a lot of sales jargon around these machines. I think when you're dabbling in these styles of machines, you really need to do your homework, understand the amount of work your machine's going to do in your home versus what the machine can really do. So let's say this compact Vax model that I've got would be useless in a big house which had big carpets because you'd have to be resetting the machine many times to vacuum shampoo your whole house. Of course, you know I like looking at rubbish piles, and I've always thought to myself, I rarely ever see one of these types of machines thrown out in the rubbish pile. Well, lo and behold, about 6 months after I bought my Vax, guess what I found in the rubbish pile? I found a Bissell Ready Clean Power Brush Pet, and this machine looked like it was in very good condition. It's also a compact model. In fact, it's almost identical to the Vax Compact Power Brush blah blah and the Hoover Power Brush Pet, which are essentially the same machines but have different branding on them. I was so curious about that Bissell machine and I looked at it very carefully on the side of the road. I picked it up and I took it home, I put a new electrical lead on it, and guess what, it works, but I'm yet to take it inside and give it a play on the carpets to see how it cleans. And what is perplexing, but I see this all the time, is that Bissell machine that was thrown out on the side of the road all in one piece isn't very old, but that's situation normal when I look at stuff on the rubbish piles, especially stuff that's made in China. Anyway, I think you've got a feeling for what that Vax machine does, and I think the Hoover Power Brush Pet would do the same sort of job. I've got to say this in this video, I have no connection to any of the brands that you've heard me talk about in this video. I've got no affiliate links at all. So it's completely pointless for me to talk up this Vax model. But what I should do, let's say in 4 to 5 years' time, is come back and tell you what I really think about this vacuum shampooer, because I think that's the real litmus test on something like this. I'll throw to some footage now where I speak live after 4 months of ownership as I'm cleaning out this little Vax compact shampooer. This little carpet vacuum machine is amazing. Every time I do a clean, I get this gunk. And I thought my carpets were clean. I just love emptying this out. And you can just see how nasty the stuff that you can't see, which is lurking in your carpet. Gee, I just love seeing how this thing cleans. It's quite amazing. It's like a cappuccino gone wrong. I've had the machine for about 4 months, and this is the second time I've used it, apart from the first time when I made the review of the video you're probably watching now. It is just incredible, the gunk that it pulls from the carpet. I love it. This small filter is easy to get to, easy to clean. You can clean that out between uses. I also come along and I clean out the brush area. You get a lot of hair and carpet fiber caught up in that. It's easy just to pull it all out. And for the second time I've used this, that's what I've been able to collect. It's a lot less than the first time, but it's proved to me how effective this small shampoo vacuum cleaner is. Okay, just to wrap this video up, and by the time I put the video together, I've had the machine for 8 months, so I can tell you a bit more of the story of what's going on with the machine. But I did have a look around online. I thought to myself, why doesn't Dyson do a machine like this? Then I found a bunny hole of attachments which aren't made by Dyson, but turns them into wet vacs and wet mops in a sense. And from my understanding with Dysons is they don't like water, so you never put your Dyson near water. And sometimes when I see them thrown out in the rubbish piles, it's after there's been big storms, and I think people go vacuum up water with their Dyson, and it's goodnight Dyson. I just put up some prices from Target in the USA. That's not Target in Australia, and you'll see a vastly different price for items here that you would have seen earlier in the video, which had the Australian price. I look at the American prices and I'm crying. I'm thinking, why can't we have those good prices in Australia? We just get ripped off here all the time. I'm so freaking over being ripped off. I'm so sick of being in Australia. I want to go somewhere else. But unfortunately, that's the penalty of living in paradise. You live in paradise, you're going to get kicked up the backside every time you buy something in a shop in Australia. That's how it works here. So up to this point, as I'm putting the video together, I've used my little Vax Compact Power shampooer 4 times. I've cleaned the carpets, I've actually put it up on a bed, and I've cleaned a bed, but it would be very rogue footage for YouTube. It would be flagged in an instant. I found it will pull stains out of mattresses, something that looks like urine. Oops, did I say the word urine on YouTube? Looking around at product reviews related to vacuum shampoos, it seems one of the common bugbears is they can be tricky to clean, and there's nothing worse than dealing with the mess that vacuum cleaners and shampooers collect. Often it's the bottom end of the stuff that you're dealing with in life. When I found this little Vax machine, it's easy to clean out and it's easy to reset because I've got to reset it a couple of times to clean the carpets in our house. One really interesting thing is, now I've been over the carpets a couple of times with this little Vax machine, I'm not pulling up the muck and dirty water that I was seeing the first few times I used the machine. And that made me think, maybe this is one of the best little things that I've ever been able to buy, but I'm only happy because I got it at the right price. If I was paying that frippin' Amazon price of $550 and frippin' whatever, would I have been as happy versus the $173 whatever I paid for the machine when I found it by accident at Bunnings? Its normal retail price in Australia hovers anywhere between, let's say, $250 to $300 Australian. But I always think back to the American pricing. If you can pick it up for $100 American dollars or less, that is the price you want to pay for this machine. So yes, these wonderful vacuum carpet shampoos, you really have to do your homework. I picked up on what Beanmeister said about his Hoover machine and luckily found the Vax, but you've got to exercise extreme buyer beware because the prices can be all over the shop, and sometimes I think the machines are not that different at all. I've had my Vax for 8 months as I'm making the video, and I am still giving it the thumbs up, and I'm a really hard marker.